Okay, yesterday and last week, we have been looking at an essay and we have been noticing the essay structure. Today I want to teach you how to plan an essay. Okay, and we're going to use a really easy example for how to plan our essay. We're going to think about Schitt's Creek Elementary, and we're going to think about a thesis statement. Remember, that was one of the things that we noticed about the structure was that the essay had a thesis statement. It had an opinion statement, in this case, that the entire essay was built around. Okay, so I want you to think about something that you can say about Schitt's Creek. That would be an opinion. Now remember, an opinion is something that somebody can disagree with. Okay, so perhaps you might want to write something like Schitt's Creek Elementary is think about what you would say. Think about what you would say. Turn and talk to a partner about how you would finish that sentence. Okay, let's share a couple. And guys, if you had trouble trying to come up with one, okay, listen carefully and you might hear something that you're also interested in. Blake?
Schitt's Creek is astonishing. Woohoo!
Okay, Schitt's Creek Elementary is astonishing. Okay. Divine?
Schitt's Creek Elementary is not like any other school.
Okay. Schitt's Creek Elementary is not like any other school. Ellie?
Schitt's Creek has really good teachers.
Schitt's Creek has really good teachers. Antonio?
Schitt's Creek is an amazing school because we get to meet new friends.
Okay. I think that if you stop at amazing school, that would be good because remember you want your thesis statement to be a little bit bigger. Making new friends might be one of the things you want to talk about. Okay? All right, so finish the sentence however you want to finish it. And this becomes your thesis statement. Okay, everybody should have something different. You don't have to have what I have. Just an opinion you have of Schitt's Creek Elementary. And we want to just make sure that that it doesn't contain any details. Okay? All right, and so then we're going to put it in a container. Remember what we learned about sketchnoting? This container is going to be a cloud. Mrs. Bartley likes to call these thought bubbles. So it's in the cloud. Okay, and so then the next step that we would have to take would be to kind of brainstorm what we would say about it. Okay, so for example, remember what Antonio said, Schitt's Creek Elementary is an amazing school because you get to meet new friends. Meeting new friends is one of the things that Antonio might want to talk about. Okay, so what I want you to do, not on this plan, but I want you to scoot it over here. I want you to brainstorm all of the things that you can think about that would support your thesis statement. Okay, so obviously Antonio might put down making new friends as one of his things. Okay, so I'm going to give you 2 minutes to work by yourself to jot down as many as you can think of. Jot them down in your notebook. I'm timing you 2 minutes. Okay, we're going to share some, and here's the idea. If somebody shares something that they have as a supporting detail or a supporting, a main idea, I should say, this is a main idea that will support your thesis statement, okay? A main idea that will support it. If you hear one that you don't have on your list and you think it would support your thesis statement, jot it down. If you hear one that you already have, just put a check mark next to it, because that way it will tell you that somebody has already shared this. Okay, Kaden, can you give me one off of your list?
I didn't really understand.
Okay, do you kind of understand it now, what we're doing?
Kind of.
Okay, so pay close attention and listen. All right, I bet you'll catch on to it. Blake, give me one.
Okay, I said our teachers help us to achieve our goals.
Okay, so I'm just going to put teachers on here, okay? I'm just going to put teachers on here. Okay, give me another one.
When I first came, they were so welcoming.
Okay, so welcoming, friendly, hospitable, okay, that type of thing. That would fit. Give me another one, Jonah.
See new things.
Can you give me a little bit more of an example?
Like when they change the theme, you can see new things.
So you're talking about themes? You're talking about themes? Okay, well, it's already on my list, so everybody, if that would support your thesis statement, then go ahead and add it to your list. Okay?
Do you know how to get their document camera to show up?
Oh, see, it's not doing it.
Okay, give me another one. Pablo. Oh, field trips. That would be nice. Field trips. Okay, give me another one. Let's see. Aurora, have a seat on your bottom, please. Okay, Anthony.
Meeting new friends and old friends.
Okay. I'm going to just put friends down, okay? All right. Moises?
Chess Creek is good because you can have fun while you're learning.
Okay, it's fun. Okay, does everybody get the idea? What we've done is we've brainstormed a list of things that we could talk about to support our thesis statement. Okay, so here's our thesis statement in our cloud. Shetts Creek Elementary is the best school on the planet. And I want to choose 3 things from my list that I've brainstormed that I can use to support the thesis statement. So I want to read through my list and choose 3 that jump out at me. Okay, when I think about what makes this school the best, one of the things I think of are the themes. One of the things I think of are the themes. Another thing that I think about is the fall carnival. That's always a lot of fun. And finally, I think I'm going to put down grade level traditions. So I want you to look at your list right now, and I want you to choose the 3 things to talk about that you think will support your thesis. What of the 3 things on your list will support your thesis? Now, if you can't find 3 things, what you need to do is you need to see if you can brainstorm some other things. Okay, I'm going to set the timer for 2 minutes. Choose your 3 things. Braden, you already have your 3 things chosen? Good for you. Give me a thumbs up if you already have your 3 things. Okay. All right. If you didn't get your 3 things yet, I think you probably get the idea and you'll be able to catch up with the rest of us. Okay, so now I have 3 things here, but they're just words. Okay? And one of the things that I've learned over the years is that if your planning sheet does not contain complete sentences for your main ideas, you know, those, remember when we studied them last week, we looked at the 4th of July essay. We noticed that the first sentence in the body paragraph was a main idea sentence. What I have noticed over the years is that if we do not put a full sentence on our planning sheet, we end up with just those words as our main idea sentence. So as I'm writing about my themes, my grade level traditions, my fall carnival, I need to think of the main idea sentence I'm going to use for my body paragraph. Okay, so take a look at one of the things that you've starred. And I want you to go ahead and turn and talk to a partner. And we're going to do something called writing in the air. Who knows what writing in the air is? What is writing in the air? Okay, close. That's what you would think it is. But it's actually when you speak the words you're going to write. You kind of have a rehearsal of what you're going to write. So what I want you to do is write in the air or rehearse your main idea, one of your main idea sentences with your partner. Okay, turn and talk.
Yeah, I have a course. Could be cool.
Okay. All right, so let's share a couple of them. Yeleni, you want to share one of the main idea sentences that you talked about with Aniela?
Not really, but Aniela.
Okay. Does Aniela have a good one?
No.
Okay. Blake, give me yours.
I said make new friends.
Okay. So let's think about that. What is your thesis statement? What is in your cloud on your planning sheet? What is in your cloud on your planning sheet?
That Chet's Creek is the best.
Okay. Chet's Creek is the best. Is that what it says? Okay. You might want to just embellish that a little bit, like Chet's Creek Elementary is the best school. Well, you don't have to say because, but in your cloud, you want it to be a complete sentence, right? And then you're going to do something like what I just did. Chet's Creek Elementary has a new theme every year. So you might want to say something like, Chet's Creek Elementary is a great place to make new friends.
So I can support my thesis statement.
Absolutely, and that will support your thesis statement. So What you're going to do right now, guys, is choose the best main idea sentence that you came up with, and you're going to add it to your plan. And we're going to do something called boxes and bullets. It's a little bit different, perhaps, than you learned last year, but it's the same idea. So in the box, we have our main idea. So I want you to notice, start with a thesis statement. Shetts Creek Elementary is the best school on the planet. And then we continue. I need to come up with 3 main idea sentences that I'm going to talk about, 1 for each of my body paragraphs. Okay? And notice how I've made it into a sentence. Moises, can you see the screen? You might want to shift yourself over so you can see the screen. Okay, so I want you to do the same thing. You don't have to have the same sentence I have. Notice I said Shetts Creek Elementary has a new theme every year. And guys, notice the first sentence I started to write with, I wasn't really happy with it. And so I just crossed it out and started over again. All right? Until I was happy with the sentence that I came up with. Okay, and remember what we noticed about text structure for an essay. We noticed that in an essay, the body paragraphs begin with a main idea sentence, and remember, they're supported with details. Okay, main idea sentence supported with details. The details are our bullets. Okay, they're going to be our examples. Now, I've been at Shetts Creek Elementary for 18 years, okay? So I have experienced a lot of themes, okay? If you were writing about themes, you probably could only write about a few of them, okay? But I can write about a lot of them. Now, I don't want to write a body paragraph where I list all 18 themes, okay? Think about you as a reader. Are you going to want to read a list of different themes we've had over the years? Okay. As the writer, I want to not only hook my reader, but I want to keep my reader engaged. Okay. I want to keep them reading. My reader is going to be bored if they just read a list of 18 different themes. So I'm going to pick my favorite theme, and when I write about it in my body paragraph, I'm going to describe some of the things that we did, ways that we decorated, fun things that we did that year that went with the theme. So the theme that I liked the best was called Mission, and then it had impossible written like this. And there was a circle with a line through it. Remember, that means don't do that. And so the theme became Mission Possible. Okay? And so this was, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add bullets. And remember how we wrote a full sentence here? Now I'm just going to write a couple of words just to remind myself of what I want to embellish on, what I want to elaborate on, how I want to further describe and develop my main idea. Okay? So I'm going to do things like spy theme. It was a spy theme. Okay? My team that year, we dressed up as men in black. Okay? And then we had silhouettes. And a silhouette, if you look, a silhouette is just the outline or the shadow of something. Okay? It's usually done in black. So you see the outline of something. We had silhouettes of spies on our doors. Now, this is just enough information for me to remind myself of some of the things, some of the details and descriptions that I want to include when I write my body paragraph about Shetts Creek Elementary has a new theme every year. Okay, can you see how it's going to be very interesting to read? As the reader, you might get very interested in how we used and developed this theme. Okay, today during work time, what I want you to do is you're going to go back to your seat and you are going to come up with 2 more main idea sentences, and you're going to come up with bullets underneath, remember, boxes and bullets that are going to remind you of the things you want to talk about when you actually write your body paragraph. Now, before I send you off to your seats, does anybody have any questions? Yes, ma'am. Okay, think about this. Okay, when we studied essay structure, how many body paragraphs did you have? 3. So how many main idea sentences should you have?
3.
And how many boxes should you have?
3.
Very good. Okay, another question, Nicholas? That's a very good question. If you're new to Shetts Creek and you haven't experienced a lot of things, if you feel like you can't write about Shetts Creek, then write about last year's school, your last year's school, where you went to school last year. Okay? So if you don't feel like you've been at Shetts Creek long enough to have enough to write about, then think about the school that you attended last year. Okay? And you can write about that school. Just remember, your thesis statement needs to be an opinion that someone can disagree with. Okay? And each of your main ideas that you write, incomplete sentences in the boxes below your cloud, they are going to be support for that. So each sentence needs to support that why I think that Shetts Creek Elementary is the best school on the planet. Okay. What I'd like you to do, look around you on the floor, pick up all of your items, and go ahead and make your way back to your seat.